All right, what's going on? Today is April 7th. I'm going to be reviewing today's price action in the one trade that I took today. So I took a break even. If I go ahead and pull it up, yeah. So I took a break even this morning. That was the one trade that I took today. Real P&L, $1.30. And yeah, break even. So I'm going to be going over that trade and then all the other opportunities that I saw potential to make money in the market this morning, right? So let's go ahead and bar replay this. And let's look at the higher time frame first, right? So on the higher time frame, what do we see? Clearly, we're bullish, right? There's nothing really in our way to stop us from going to Trump data highs. We're inverse this daily fair value gap, inverse this fair value gap as well, and then we're respecting this bullish gap, right? So on the daily time frame, we're looking bullish. On the 4-hour time frame, if my 4-hour chart will load, right? Let me bar replay this back to this. Right, so on the 4-hour time frame, we're still trending higher. We do have this swing low inside of this fair value gap that we might want to see come get hit if we decide to rebalance it, but we're still looking bullish on the 4-hour as well. The hourly is where stuff starts to look a little bit interesting, right? So let me play this, right? So this is 8 a.m., right? So coming into the day, you had this clean hourly inversion, right, to the downside. So clearly we're rejecting off of something we want to push to the downside. We still have these data highs above. But clearly we want to push lower. And what I noticed was this swing low right here that looked very promising, just a low inside of this hourly fair value gap that's been untapped. ES hadn't taken it either. And then maybe even possibly this low. We had Asian lows lying right here, and then I'm pretty sure this was previous day low, if I'm correct. Yes, previous day low as well. So that's what we had. So now in the hourly markets, you kind of like obviously our higher time frame is bullish, right? But it just doesn't make sense to not be looking for shorts in this scenario because this is just kind of our bread and butter setup, right? Like just a clean V-shaped inversion to the downside. We have a clear draw on liquidity below. We opened up a 1-hour fair value gap as well that we want to see price tap into, displace into, before giving us our move to the downside to take out this resting liquidity, right? So just a perfect sell model right here. And so that's kind of what I was looking for coming into the day, is that I wanted to see us come up, displace bullish off open, right? Deliver into this hourly fair value gap, maybe even into this 15-minute fair value gap up here, right? We already have a high inside of a 15, so I wanted to see that get swept as well, and then take us to this low right here, which seemed very promising. I didn't know if we wanted to go all the way to previous day low. On the higher time frame, we're still in a buy model, right? So I just wanted to see us take this low and then possibly reject to the upside. Had to be a little bit careful today with there being war news and everything like that. So Trump tweeting out, and so quick break even points. Just making sure that we take quality setups, go break even, and that's what ended up happening to me. I just went break even today, and it would have played out, but just followed my rules and went break even. So this draw on liquidity was just very, very obvious to me, right? So I was very convinced in taking shorts today. I just wanted to see what price gave us off open, right? So let's go to open. That is not what I wanted to do. Right here, 8:30. All right. So off open, sweep out this data high, obviously. Or this isn't open. I'm going to 9:30. Sorry. All right. Boom. 9:30 opens up. What do we get? Or this isn't 9:30 either. I'm sorry, guys. All right, here we go. Now we're at open. Okay, I apologize. So like I said, I want to see price open up higher and then deliver us some sort of shorts to the downside, right? So sweep out possibly this high inside of this fair value gap, right? It's a high inside of the 15-minute, or deliver higher into this unfilled 15-minute above, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to see off open was a delivery up to these levels. And that's exactly what we got. So we swept out that high, we tapped into that unfilled 15-minute, and then we rejected off of it. You can clearly see that we're also SMT'd, right, with these highs, right? So ES failed to sweep out the high. NASDAQ was able to sweep out the high, right? So we get an SMT. Let me go ahead and mark this out. So we get an SMT, just an extra confluence, right? So we're delivering from the hourly fair value gap. We're also delivering from a 15-minute. We just swept a high inside of a 15-minute. Now this high becomes protected, right? So our stop loss is protected, and I like to see shorts to the downside. So originally what I saw off open was this 3-minute, which you could have taken. But and then just gone like break even at this quick swing low, and then ultimately targeting our full drawn liquidity. But just depending on where your stop loss position is, I didn't like this that much. I wanted to see price create a little bit more structure. And if we reject it from here, I'll just take continuation longs, right? But this is a rejection block. So price could want to retrace back up into here. So your stop's not really protected right here. If you went up here, yes, this would have played out, right? So that's just the first trade that I saw. Price rejected up higher. So this is what I ended up seeing, right? So you can clearly see that we type up into this rejection block, right? Delivering from the rejection block. I don't use these too often, but in this case scenario, it worked out really well, right? So tap into the rejection block, and boom, we get a beautiful short to the downside. So this is what I entered off of, right? So we're delivering from a higher time frame PD array. We get an SMT, false move off open, rejection block delivery as well, and then an inversion with great displacement towards our clear drawn liquidity of that hourly low inside the hourly fair value gap, right? So this was the trade that I entered. This was pretty A+. I think I had my stops right above here, and my full target was down here. I did want to take this break even pretty quickly, right? And this low just seemed obvious to me. I wanted to see us flush through this, so this was my break even point. Then you can clearly see I got stopped at a break even immediately, and we continue flushing, right? We do reject off of this area right here, take us to the upside. This was another good opportunity right here. So that first one was break even, but our draw on liquidity is still intact, right, down here. So anything from this point is still a pretty good trade, just because our draw on liquidity is clearly still intact, right? So what do we get out of right here? We get a 3-minute retracement. We sweep out this internal high inside this 3-minute, right, with this candle right here. Stop loss becomes protected, and you get this is the tiniest 1-minute inversion, but you do get a 1-minute inversion with great displacement. Oh, as well as this first trade, right? You get a change of state of delivery. So all those confluences just align perfectly. Change of state of delivery as well. So, but this trade was great, right? You get the 1-minute inversion, stop above this candle, drawn liquidity is clear, and you could hold that to right there, or you could have taken this farther down to previous day low. That would just be a stretch in my opinion, right? But you could take this easily to like a 1 to 5 right here. We also had Asia session lows that were, if I can remember, yeah, right here. So Asian session lows were also a good pool of liquidity. I just wanted to see us reject off of this level right here, so I would have taken my TP right there. But if you did hold the Asian lows and you were convicted that we were going to go lower, especially with this Trump war news, then that wasn't bad, right? So just completely flushed. Boom, full TP. That was most likely trade of the day. I did like both of these setups off open. They just got break evened, and this was probably trade of the day. Just played out perfectly, exactly what we wanted to see, right? And from this point, right, we swept out Asia, we swept out this internal high. Now previous day, internal low, I'm sorry. Previous day low was originally I want to see us reject off this area, right? I still want to see us continue to complete this buy model. I still want to continue to see us push further, and it seemed like we might be able to get a rejection off of this area, right? So that's what I was looking for. But we ended up wanting to come down towards previous day lows, and there was no continuation model. Nothing perfect. We left previous day low. At this point, it's late in the day. We're starting to chop around. I did look for some sort of retracement mech model type thing. There just was nothing obvious, right, and nothing I really found appealing to take, right. I knew previous day low would come get tapped eventually. Just the fact that ES or NQ hadn't taken it out, right. So, and then right, you can see 11 a.m. end of New York a.m. and we come down and sweep previous day low, right. So from this point, I'm pretty much expecting a pretty hard rejection. There's not really much reason for us to go back lower, and this play was actually pretty good as well, right. So we got a 3-minute, right, this whole 3-minute leg, boom, inversion, could have gone long here. Really just, this is kind of more discretionary, but stops like right here. You could have gone for a 1-to-1, or you could have targeted this high, this unfilled 15-minute, right. We had an unfilled 15-minute above. That's a little bit more dangerous. If you were convicted we were going to go higher, then I see it. Or New York AM, this is a 9:30 wick. I like that. And I think that's just kind of where we're continuing right now. Through New York lunch. I don't know if full TP has gotten ran yet, if we were wanted to go for New York AM high. Yeah, it looks like we're right. Take it. Take it. This was solid. I mean, this is a 930 wick, right? We left this 930 wick. Good draw on liquidity for price to come back up to. I saw potential for us to rebalance this whole range. Great inversion. Not really much reason for us to go lower. Sweeping out all the internal lows we needed to. And it looks like full TP is about to be hit, right? So lots of good opportunities in the market today. Unfortunately, I got break evens. But it was just a little bit of a choppy day off open, right? Especially with Trump war news. And just interesting markets today, right? But shorts were clearly the play. And yeah, hopefully you guys made money today. And that's going to be all for me. So I'll be back later for another backtesting session. And then, of course, be back every day this week to see what the markets end up bringing us. So see you guys later.